You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Nerdcast on the Angry Marks Podcast Network with your host, Will Huckabee and Mika Villas.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again. It's that time of the week. It's time for the Wrestling Nerdcast. As usual, I'm your host, the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, the World Wrestling Grand Prix Champion, the National Syndicate Heavyweight Champion, a national icon and reality TV star, the disrespectful intellectual, the Southern gentleman, the incredible Will Huckabee. And I would be remiss if I didn't introduce my tag partner as well. She's one half of the world's cutest commentary team. She's the lover of waffles, the voice of the speech impediment, the Aphrodite of affection. She's Miss Hashtag What That Mouth Do, a.k.a. Buy Her a Taco. Mika Villas. What up, Mika?
What up, boy? Just hanging out with you again. Clearly, I have no life, but it's cool, though. I kind of, sort of. What?
We had a great weekend.
We did.
Help celebrate your birthday, your belated birthday and stuff. Did a debut this Friday. I debuted at AWN. Well, before that, Thursday, I was at USA Championship Wrestling in Bluefield, West Virginia. Got to wrestle the original Cuban assassin's grandson. And I guess he has less than 15 matches, but he has a lot of potential. Made a lot of rookie mistakes. The referee completely and totally messed up the entire match. I'm not gonna lie. The referee. That match was proof that a bad referee can ruin a very solid match.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait. Did you lose that match? Is that why you're blaming the ref?
Well, I did lose the match through outside interference that the referee saw and didn't disqualify the guy. I guess he was doing that Japanese stuff. I don't know. And then Friday, they defended my National Syndicate Wrestling Heavyweight Championship at AWN, where I debuted at, against a former junior heavyweight champion, Stunt Marshall. Obviously, I got the win there. And then Saturday, UIW, myself and Solid Cross versus the Left Hand Path, were defending the UIW tag team titles and lost. You were there in the building for that, Mika, under nefarious conditions. I don't know what's up with people cheating me and stuff. And, I guess it takes more than one or two people to beat the Incredible Hulk. I have no idea. But then after that, we got to celebrate your birthday. You and your wrestling daughter, Morgana, got to celebrate the birthdays, you August babies.
That's right. That's August babies. We saw a beautiful show where you lost, and then there was alcohol. So it was, darn good.
That good old Tibetan water blessed by Himalayan monks was in full effect at Mika's house, people.
You poured that water heavy, sir. You really thought that was water. You just kind of went hard at that bottle.
Excuse me. It was not just myself. It was a couple other people as well. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's going to be different. We have a very special guest on the line. We're back for a second time on the show. But we're not just going to interview him about, of course, we're going to catch up with him and see what's going on. I almost forgot. This podcast is a fan-supported podcast. Be sure to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/The Wrestling Nerdcast. Shouts out to our hosts, the Angry Marks Podcast Network, all of our friends over there at Pro Wrestling World on Facebook. Be sure to check them out for all of your pro wrestling gossip. Our good friends and sponsors at Indie Customs. Be sure to check them out for all of your pro wrestling and non-pro wrestling merch needs. If you need a t-shirt, just like a one-off t-shirt, or if you're a wrestler, you need like a bunch of shirts, hit up our friends at Indie Customs. If you're a fan and you just want to support other wrestlers, they have merchandise from not only, this podcast, the Wrestling Nerdcast, but you can also get merch from the Gymnasty Boys and the Lethal Lovers, the Hierarchy, Joe Black, Michael Spencer, etc., etc., etc. And last but not least, just in case, you have a bunch of stuff that you really want to save. And I know nowadays, with like the intranets and people, Snapchatting and Facebook and taking all these selfies, you have a lot of storage and a lot of things saved in your phone. And sometimes you might get a bug. Talk to our friends over there at Behavior Driven. I use them. I'm telling you right now, people, like all of my matches, whether you like them or not, are in storage at Behavior Driven. I've been using them for a long, long time, and their services are impeccable. So check out all of our friends at Behavior Driven, for all of your I guess, what would you call it, Mika? Your digital saving needs. They're like a storage unit for digital stuff.
For all your digital get down, for your storage, and just in case everything's running a little slow, they can make you go.
And unlike the cloud, you don't have to worry about anybody hacking. So there you go. Now, tonight's guest. Tonight we have a special guest, like I was saying before. He's been on the show before. We're definitely going to catch up with him, but we got a bunch of stuff that we want to talk about, especially if you've been paying attention on social media. There's been a huge backlash, but we're going to get into that right after we introduce tonight's guest. He is a former NWA Continental or former NWA Mid-Atlantic Junior Heavyweight Champion. He has wrestled everywhere from New York to Carolinas and everything in between. He's one of my favorite people in wrestling. He's probably one of the greatest promo guys in wrestling right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The one, the only, LFA. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. He's also in my kids' top 5 wrestlers. He is number 5. He pushed me out of my kids' top 5 and down to number 6, which I still owe him for that. The one, the only, LFA, Manny Martinez. What's up, man?
Up? Got pushed down.
They seen him they seen him wrestle one time. They made me spend like $40 to buy some LFA merch, which they still have to this day, and they still use the beanies and stuff. And yeah, they pushed me down to number 6 because, they saw him wrestle and they liked him more than me.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's how you do it. That's how you get the fans behind me. Take it one time. That's what you need, one time.
So what have you been up to, man?
Well, I just had a tooth extraction that was actually an extraction that I needed to get done for, I'd say, around 15 years. I needed to get it done, so I just did it now. Might as well. Bookings are a little slow. It always gets slow for me for some reason around August, September. So I'm like, let me just do it now, get it over with, get an implant, and then just make sure no one knocks my teeth out again.
I think that's the case, man. Wrestling, for some reason, when the summer starts slowing down and stuff, man, it gets closer to Christmas. The wrestling bookings start getting slim, man. People stop running. Companies, they take the winter off and stuff for one reason or another. For some places, it's because it snows and they don't want the talent driving in the middle of a blizzard or whatever. And, some people are worried that the fans don't have money. I don't know what it is, because when I was growing up, wrestling was
I don't agree with that. Not one bit. I discuss this with a lot of peers I drive with. I don't think it's that, because you have promoters like Randy Carver from Limitless who packs house every single show he does. So you can't say that there's no fans there. You have a product, I don't know if you heard of them, WWE, that packs house every single week in the summertime and winter. Have you heard of them? I'm pretty sure you have.
I mean, I've heard bits and pieces about them. I'm not too familiar with their product.
But just saying that if you have those type of fans, you will have fans. There's no street teams anymore. I can go on and on about, I feel like, what promoters should be doing and what students should be doing nowadays. But I will go back. I will just wait, and I'll wait for my time. We can start with body shaming. We can start with anything you want. I have an opinion, and it's a respectable opinion on a topic, and it's not a bias. It's not a biased opinion. It's not because I'm bitter. I just want to make sure I get that out. Anyone ever hears it. It's not a bitter opinion. It's not because, this guy's done something, I deserve it. It's not that. I just feel like there's some people who get opportunities. I wouldn't say who don't deserve it, but I just question, how are they actually getting it when they don't have any presence online? They don't have updated gear. They're out of shape, not body shaming, out of shape. They don't train. I don't see any content online. There's a lot of questions that I have, and I wonder. So I'll just leave it at that for now until we get to the body shaming part.
Well, I was about to say, Mika. I talked to Mika about this and stuff after UIW, and I actually told her about this when you contacted me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know by now, if you're a wrestling fan, if you're around the wrestling world, you've already heard about the huge Dave Meltzer Peyton Royce debacle, where people felt like he was body shaming her. And whether you feel like he was body shaming her or not, we're not going to get to that. But because of that, I made a post because I'm a large guy. Not very tall, 5'10". As of now, we're about 265. But several times I've been told by promoters, hey, if you lose the gut, if you lose this weight, we'll bring you in. And it just got to, I think it struck a nerve. For myself, the reason why I made the post is because with Peyton Royce, I've seen so many people coming to her aid about you shouldn't body shame females. Women should feel comfortable in their skin, which, believe you me, I support wholeheartedly. I do believe that not just women, but everybody should feel comfortable in their own skin, and that nobody should really judge somebody because of their size, especially in the business of entertainment. My big deal was, if you won't say it to a female, what makes you think that it's okay to tell a man, hey, you're fat, you're out of shape, you need to lose weight? Because I feel like if you won't say it to me, or if you won't say it to a female, then it shouldn't be said to a man, especially if everybody's supposed to be equal across the board. And you made a comment, and then you said, hey, you want to come on the show? So here we are. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get this interview really started. All right, Manny, what is your opinion about male body shaming in the business of professional wrestling?
Well, it comes down to when I started wrestling back in 2008, in New York Wrestling Connection down in Deer Park, New York, having people who were above me at the time, which was, it's so funny, Anthony Nese was one of them. Another guy named, I call him Plasma. I call him Plasma to this day. When I see him at ROH at times, when I go there for backstage and I see him, I call him Plasma. He turns Trent Beretta. You have people like that who are always in shape, and it doesn't even come as a question, if they're not wrestlers or not, if they're wrestlers or not. So when they come to me, when I was like a really thin, I was like a pencil when I first started. And they came to me, it's like, you got to look like a wrestler. You can't just go on shows looking like you are now. Like, it's just not believable. You have to look like a wrestler. You have to build up. You have to gain muscle. I'm like, okay. And I always listen. And that was totally fine because they're right. They're not wrong. They're absolutely not wrong about it. However, now you see so many different body types. Now, I mean, I was just in a closed circle back in 2008, but now you have so many body types. You have thin guys, you have pencil thin guys, you have thick guys, you have really built guys, you have, I wouldn't say overweight, but you have just bigger sized guys. I mean, there's a lot of bigger sized guys in the indies that can actually move. I feel like if you can actually move, it shouldn't matter. That's the biggest.
Mika, what do you got to say about this?
It's just, it's weird to me. I know that there's this whole stigma / reality that Vince McMahon likes bigger guys, and since the WWE is the end all be all of all wrestling in some people's eyes, that a certain shape or look for a man should be the norm as far as wrestling goes. But wrestling is supposed to make you, suspend your disbelief for a little bit. And part of that should be they look different, and that they're not so incredibly shaped that it makes it just unusual. In my everyday life, I don't see guys who are, all the time built like wrestlers that are just, or imagine what a wrestler should look like as far as the males go, where there's muscles on top of muscles. They're all 7 feet tall with, guns that'll just make you swoon and drop to your knees every 6 seconds. I see guys who look regular. There are guys who are in shape, guys who are not in shape. But the fact of the matter is, it shouldn't, like us, you said, it shouldn't matter if they're bigger or smaller. It's how they move, how they represent themselves in the ring, what they do as far as their work ethic goes. And the look is not so much, he should be fatter, he should be taller, he should be skinnier, he should be more built. It's what does his work look like? Yes, I understand that, again, we all have these images of what athletes should be, but wrestlers are athletes, and they definitely come in different sizes and shapes. And to tell someone, male or female, you should be this because, that looks better, it's just ignorant.
Well, let me intervene on that one too. Just to segue off of how a person is supposed to look. It's not just when I'm talking to promoters, and when any of us are talking to promoters, some are actually honest. Now, their honesty is like a double-edged sword, because I talked to one promoter locally here that talks about didn't talk about my body size, like my size itself, because for what I am a thug. I mean, that's basically what it is. And what does a thug look like? When you go to when you don't go to a prison, you really don't just go there, but when you watch these movies and you watch anything on TV, what a thug's supposed to look like, I think I portray that quite well. On the look-wise, not anything else, just by the build, I think I can play that quite well. I think that's fair to say. Now, when they talk about gear, this is a little different because it's not just your look on, oh, this guy has a bigger belly. I don't know if I want to book this guy. I mean, there's Bruiser. I mean, he's been on ROH for how many years, so I guess that doesn't matter. But you have people who have gear. So if I'm a thug, and ideally, in your mind, what does a thug look like? What does he usually wear? An Hispanic thug. I know you're going to have a specific idea of what these type of people wear, and you want to portray that. And I think it's fair to agree on across the board here. Now, when they tell me you don't have regular gear, ? I'm like, what do you mean? I have custom-made gear. Like, you don't see it in my promo pictures. They're custom-made. I have someone that made canvas material gear that looked like the pants, like Dickie pants. I have regular Dickie pants that have stuff on it, and I have canvas material that looks just like any other Dickie pants. And so to them, that's not okay. That's not an okay look to have. They don't like that. They ask, oh, do you have trunks? Do you have long tights? I'm like, man, you're losing the concept. And this is where I feel like promoters are really starting to not get it. And that's where I feel like it's not more of a promoter, it's one of those money mark people. When you're a thug, you don't wear trunks. You're losing the character in itself. Who are you really trying to book? If you're trying to just book a regular Joe Schmo wrestler, okay, fine. But I'm going in as a thug. Thugs are not going to wear trunks. Thugs are not going to wear biker shorts. Thugs are not going to wear long tights with nice boots. That's not what a thug looks like. That's not what it looks like. It's just not it. And then when I see pictures of past shows of these so-called promoters, what do I see? I see a Mysterio knockoff mask with a guy wearing a T-shirt, but then he has long trunks, long tights, and he has boots on. But it's like one of those crappy indie wrestlers. Like, what is that? It's like, so you're telling me you wouldn't book me, who's someone who looks authentic, who looks professional, who looks TV ready, but you're gonna book someone like that?